Betway Bangalore Summer Derby 2022 conducted their pole position draws, and the connections of every single contender came out to take their pick.
Horse racing, sponsoring and partnering with the biggest races in the world, the Grand National, the Cheltenham, and of course now looking eagerly at the Indian horse racing market as well, in supplement to some of the other partnerships in the Indian sports industry.
Well, you've been with the Grand National now quite recently, and your first foray here onto the Indian turf. You couldn't have chosen a better race to start that with, because this is indeed a classic pointer. It's one of the most competitive derbies in the country. So you're going to stay with it?
Absolutely. I think with the entire philosophy of the Betway Group, the aim was to certainly participate with the biggest blockbuster of the season, if I may say so, and of course it being the centenary year of the Bangalore turf, that makes it even more special.
Well, we look forward to that. And Betway on the Indian turf, so we really look forward to seeing them stay with us. The derby is all about staying, and let's hope Betway stays with it. Thank you. Thank you. We'd like Mr. Uday Iswaran and Mr. Rohan Gupta to now unveil the Derby trophy. It's a new trophy this year, not the one that comes every year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, after 34 years.
After a long break. So we brought a breath of fresh air coming in, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the trophy for the Bangalore Summer Derby Grade 1. Now, I know there are a lot of you sitting here who'd love to come up and instead of the draws, just collect this. But you'll have to wait till 4:40 on Sunday to see who's going to pick it up. Thank you very much, Mr. Iswaran. Thank you very much, Ron. I'd like to call up Manohar now, and we're going to go through the post position draw for the post positions, which we're going to go into right now. Now, normally, everything had been laid on. Manohar was very clear in his mind. We start with number 1, Arthur. He's number 1 in the program. He starts with the letter A. How can you not start with him? And I told him, I said, well, he's named after one of the great kings of England who was in Camelot. And the one thing that he used to talk about was chivalry. So we start with ladies first. And we're going to start, instead of going with the normal number order, we're going to start post positions with the ladies. Manohar, over to you.
Well, thank you, Cyrus. Can I have the connections of success? We start off with number 13. Connections of success, Mr. Vijay Singh. So we're starting with the fillies. And can we have Mr. Vijay Singh on top?
So we're going to get Vijay. And he doesn't drink, so even though he doesn't drink, we've got Jacob's Creek Chardonnay Pinot Noir, which he's going to pick up. And under the bottle, usually everyone looks at the top of the bottle, but under the bottle is the post position pasted to it. So for success, please go ahead.
Vijay, what is it going to be? It's 7. So success is drawn 7.
Well, now that's a sense of deja vu, isn't it? Some people say 13 is a tough number, and then they say 7 is a great number, and he's picked 13 and 7. What a great combination that is. So how do you rate her? You've got 2 runners, Leonardo, Success. Which of them do you prefer? Now I'm putting you on the mat.
Well, it's not going to be easy to answer a question like that, because one has already run over the distance and the other one is now aiming to go through the trip. But as far as both my runners are concerned, I would say they both have done equally well on the track, and I expect them both to If they run 1-2, I'll be most happy.
Thank you very much, Vijay.
And actually, Cyrus, it's a final entrant. Success is a final entrant for this race.
Well, there you have it. So Vijay telling you a little story on his own, which he didn't let slip before that. Thank you.
Thank you, Vijay. So we head to number 12, philosophy. Can we have the connections of philosophy?
Yeah, we've got Mr. Vajifta there. So should we ask him to come up? Anyone.
Mr. Padmanabhan is coming across.
Mr. Vajifta, why don't you come up with him? We'll have both of you here.
We can have both of you.
No, we can have both here. Come on. So we've got Mr. Padmanabhan and Mr. Vajifta. And they're going to draw, and
the jockey
as well, Sandesh. So we've got everybody here for philosophy, Sandesh, Padmanabhan, and Mr. Vajifta. So first let's do the draw. Who's going to handle that? But I think it matters most to Sandesh, so let him do it.
Sandesh, what is it?
Drawn 11.
Drawn 11. It's drawn 11.
So number 12, drawn 11 is philosophy. The bottle's yours. And how did you come to name her philosophy? Who was the philosopher amongst the owners?
Well, I just thought, because of her pedigree, and she was small, so everyone said not to go for this filly, but I believe that pedigree counts, and that's the philosophy I go on.
Well, you certainly used the right philosophy on that to pick up the fillies. Thank you very much. And Paddy, all the best with her. Anything to add on philosophy after the fillies trial?
There's a lot to add. Mr. Vazirdar and his partners won the last Bangalore Summer Derby, and we are looking for, our stable is looking for the hat-trick of Summer Derbies, and we are very grateful to Betway to come and sponsor this race. And this is not our only runner, the other runner is Serenius, who also has a chance. And there are 2-3 maidens running who I think don't have a chance. That's more important, because they shouldn't come in the way and trouble everybody. But looking at it, I think the emphasis should be on the group race form. We have had 2 Group 1 races run, and Poonawalla Million, another Group 1 race. So horses which are performed in these races like Mojito, the black.
Once you go black.
Once you go black, if he stays, he will be a tough nut to crack. I don't know if he will stay. And Mojito will definitely stay. I had the sister who ran short at second in the Oaks. Then Pacey's 2 horses are there, out of which I prefer the filly. The filly has a form in a Group 1 race, so I think that has a chance. Leonardo has placed in a Group 1. Again, he has a chance. Rest of them comes out, anyone comes out and wins, it'll be a fluke.
Well, we saw Ridge Strike come out and win the Kentucky Derby, and nobody thought he was going to strike, but let's see what happens out here. Now, you've talked about quite a few horses. Who's the hardest to beat? You?
I think Cyrenius.
Well, there you've got it. He says Cyrenius is going to be hardest to beat. Thank you very much, Paddy. Thanks for coming up. Thank you, Mr. Vajifta. That was philosophy, drawn 11. Manohar.
Can we have the connections of King's Ransom? We have Pacey Shroff and P.S. Jawan.
And we've also got Mr. Shirke there, so we'll get him up with us. He's been on stage once, so he's done his bit for the day. Right, so we've got King's Ransom, trained by Pacey Shroff to be ridden by PS. PS, go for it.
Well, it's drawn 13, the outside draw, 13.
Whoa. Now, he can't blame anyone for that one. You know, usually they say, oh, I didn't have the luck of the draw. Now, he's pulled it. So he's gone 13 out of 13. You think that's going to worry you a bit?
No, I don't think so, sir. It's a long distance race. It will not make much difference to the...
Right. So not really a problem, and PS is well used to being drawn on the outside and then working his way through. Basically, you've got quite a few runners in this, but how do you rate King's Ransom?
I think she's done well after Philly's trial. I'm just hoping for a little bit of firm ground, and I think she'll put up a good fight.
Well, there you have it from Mr. Shroff and PS Chauhan. Thank you very much.
Well, Cyrus, we have finally arrived with Arthur. M. Srinivas ready. We can have Vivin Y.S. Srinath on top.
Okay, Chico, you're the one who's going to draw.
Shall I go for it? Yeah.
12.
It's drawn 12.
Getting the outside draws.
12.
I think that'll help you overcome it if you open that in a little while and finish it. But anyway, so Reddy, what do you feel about Arthur? He's run a cracker in the Colts. He should get the trip, you think?
I think he should get the trip, sir.
And you've come in from Hyderabad, you've seen a lot of the other horses out there and over here. What in your opinion is the one they all have to beat?
I think philosophy, sir. Philosophy.
So there you have it from Mr. Reddy. Srinivas Reddy says philosophy is the one to beat. Chico, the draw worry you a bit, number 12?
Well, not really. I think 12 is still, you're still in the first barrier. It's fine. It's a long race.
And it's a long trip. But what about the state of the going? What's that going to be? If it doesn't rain, will it be sticky or do you think it'll be firm?
It will be sticky. It will, even a little bit of rain, the dampness, it will be a bit dead. But it's not going to be really great for horses who are going to come from too far behind.
Well, good luck with Arthur. And hope you get to be a knight of the round table after you finish with him and you're called in. Thank you very much, Mr. Reddy.
We head to Beyond Measure, and Malish Neredu will be on stage.
So welcome, Malish. You didn't bring Yash along to draw. You're going to do that for him. You've done that enough times, haven't you?
Yes.
Go for it.
It's drawn 8.
So Beyond Measure, drawn 8. Tell us a little bit about Beyond Measure.
He's a very well-bred horse, and I always feel that longer the distance will suit him better. That's why we are taking our chances over here and hoping for the best.
Okay, so that's it from Malesh. Let's see if they go measure for measure with Beyond Measure. Thank you. Number 3.
Sirenius. Can I have Mr. Arya Mansundaram and Mr. Padmanabhan?
Right. The last time Mr. Padmanabhan asked Mr. Sandesh to draw, we had a bit of an issue. So this time we're going to ask Mr. Sundaram to do the draw.
And Sirin is drawn 2.
Well, there you have it. That's come into the right next to the running rail. Drawn 2.
Drawn 2.
Now, you've had Mr. Padmanabhan come in and say that the hardest horse to beat is going to be Cyrenius. Was he saying that because you were sitting here, or does he really mean that?
If I don't mean what I said, your horse wouldn't be running in the race.
There you have it. And that comes from a man who's won enough black type and enough races. So, big one with Cyrenius.
And a man who's known to say exactly what he wants to say, when he wants to say it, and how he says it.
And you have to accept it. That's the best part.
Just wait. Ladies and gentlemen, here is a person, senior counsel of the Supreme Court, he has made such a pitch for us in the GST that everyone have been sozzled. So I thank him for it. And he's, cheers. And he's going to be there all the way with us.
Can't you let the derby be won by him?
I'll be absolutely delighted. I wanted to ask you, I forgot. Will you do a bhangra in the middle of the track if you win the derby?
No,
we'll get your permission.
Do you want to win your GST case? If I did the bhangra, they won't take me seriously when I argue it.
Okay, then we'll do one thing after, with the small hope we have, if we do win it, then we'll ask you to do the bhangra. We'll both do it together.
Right.
And the other core team. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Yes.
Go.
This is the only difference.
Number 4.
Number 4 is Last Wish. Can we have Neil Devani? Well, trainer Neil Devani will be picking up the lucky draw for Last Wish.
Drawn 3.
Drawn 3 is Last Wish.
So Neil, Last Wish, you come out and run a real cracker in Chennai when you came out and won the 7 furlong Mahindra. Are you going to do something similar on Sunday?
No, Last Wish, I won the...
I know, just talking of Northern Alliance.
Okay, Northern Alliance, yeah. It's, you get everything right, that one day your stars align and you have that luck at that point of time and it goes.
Good luck with Last Wish and may his wishes come true. Number 5?
Number 5 will be Leonardo. Can we have Mr. Vijay Singh?
So Leonardo is going to be ridden by Akshay Kumar, and we're going to get Vijay to draw for him. Is Akshay here?
Is Akshay?
No? Okay.
It's drawn 10.
So Leonardo, drawn 10. We spoke to Vijay about success, and he also mentioned Leonardo, so we're going to spare him this time and let him go. If you all are nice to him, he's got 2 bottles, so he just might part with one. Number 6, Mojito.
Mojito, Mr. Jadhav, Mr. M.K. Jadhav, as well as N.S. Parmar.
So we're going to get Nikhil to pick up the bottle. Is that 6 or 9?
9. It's drawn 9. Drawn 9.
That number is always so deceptive when you see it. But what an incredible performance from Mojito in that Colts trial. I mean, nobody expected it except his trainer and probably Nikhil Parmar. You're going to repeat that in the Derby?
I hope so.
And how is he?
He's done everything right. Only problem is whether he liked the going or not.
Well, we'll find that out on Sunday. It's been raining quite a bit. But there was a bit of soft going that day, wasn't it, on Colts Day?
Yes, it was. But today, I think, on Sunday, it will be much more.
Well, good luck with him. Nikhil, anything to add on him? You had him sitting well off the pace the last time, and he came home very strongly.
He's always been a consistent horse, and hopefully he'll run a good race for us.
Good luck with him. Good luck. So may the cocktails really flow with Mojito. Number 7?
Number 7 is Once You Go Black, Mr. Shivin Surendranath, as well as James.
Great to have you both up here. Now, who's going to pick?
He's going to pick. Because
Let it be on his head. That's much better.
If you draw one, I'll kill you.
Go on, James.
4.
Drawn 4. So that's a decent draw. So he can keep the bottle now. He's okay. So James, tell us a little about Once You Go Black. He run a cracker in the Colts, came to take it up, but Mojito was a little too strong for him that day. What do you think this time?
Look, at the end of the day, I do think he wants fast ground. We're not going to get that. So we'll just hope to get the best kind of ground we can. I think that day he didn't get the best run through the race. I think he was a bit keen as well. I think this time we'll try and get him to relax better and he'll come with a run at the end.
Well, he's come from well off the pace last time, and I'm sure he'll probably do the same this time. What about you, sir?
What do you want me to say?
You give him a great... How did you come to name him Once You Go Black?
I was just hoping you wouldn't ask me that question. There are ladies in the room.
Okay, so we will give that a pass. I looked it up on Google, so look it up on Google, ladies and gentlemen, and then you'll know why. But let's see if Once You Go Black, who sports yellow colors and not all black, is going to come out to win the Betway Bangalore Summer Derby. Thank you. Number 8.
Well, number 8 is Prague. Can we have Mr. Zavare Poonawalla and Mr. Chadrunga Kantrajas to
Can
come
we have
and
you
do the
both up,
honors?
please? Come on, Zavare. Come and keep him company. Suleiman, we need you here as well. Is Ashad Aswar here or no? Right. So who's going to do the honors?
Thank you.
So he went for the one on the extreme outside and he picked up number 1.
Number 1.
And is that an omen? 1 out of the gates? Is it going to be 1 at the post? We wait to see that. But what are your feelings on Prague, Kanta?
Well, I think we all hope to win. That's why we run.
Good luck with that. And Suleiman, nice type of colt, and he's going over a trip which I think he'd relish. What do you think?
Yes, he's a very different sort of a horse from his sister. He's a staying type of horse. Unfortunately, still a maiden. So we're taking our chances and hoping for the best.
Well, good luck with that. And Zavare, your colors in the derby once again. You're going to be really rooting for it, I'm sure.
Oh, well, I don't know. I've spoken too much today, so I'd rather keep quiet.
Thank you very much. So that was Prague, taking it up for the Poonawallas and Kantaraj. Number 9, Supernatural.
Well, Supernatural, can we have Mr. Shirke on stage, along with Pacey Stroff and Pete Trevor.
Now there's nothing left, 5 or 6.
So just 2 bottles left. Go on. 6, drawn 6. That's a nice draw to get in with. So tell us a bit about Supernatural. He came with a big reputation. We all thought he was really going to kick on and do everything asked of him. He has disappointed a little, but I'm sure he can come back.
I think he's a very talented horse. He has disappointed, but he's still learning how to run, and I think he needs good ground, and that's what is really going to take to get him to run well.
Well, the ground, I think, is definitely going to be a little sticky. And the first time you're riding him?
No, second time, the Coles I rode.
Okay. So good luck with Supernatural, Trevor, and we hope that you come out on top. So, thank you, Trevor.
And the last one will be Triumphant. Can we have the connections of Triumphant? Mr. Suleiman Atawale.
Go ahead. 5.
So drawn 5.
So what are the plans with Triumphant? Going to the front?
I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that.
So we all got something up his sleeve over here. But we wait to see what they do with Triumphant, and you really give him a chance.
Actually, after hearing Mr. Padmanabhan, he said he's the horse to beat is Sirenius. We've come very close to beating him. So that's some hope for us.
Well, good luck with that. Paddy, you've got to watch out for Triumphant. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the draw of the end of the post positions.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are done with the post position draw. We are done with the contenders AV. Can we have the bookmakers please give us the odds for the Betway Bangalore Summer Derby? Can you kindly introduce yourselves?
Good evening to all of you, and we're all hoping for a very, very successful, wonderful Bangalore Summer Derby this year round. All right. My name is Akash. I'm a bookmaker at the Bangalore Turf Club.
Good evening, everybody. I'm representing Mrs. Bogas Trade Enterprises. My name is Satyanarayan Raju. Here are the odds for the Derby races. Number 1, Arthur. It's 10-1. Number 2, Beyond Measure. It's 40-1. Cyrenius, 10-1.
I think I'd like to quickly mention that merely looking at the form books, Cyrenius we would have probably offered much longer odds, but after listening to what Padhu sir had to mention, I think it's going to take a big beating. So yeah, we are a little bit worried now. We'll have a rise out.
It's back down from 42 to 10-1 now.
So Cyrenius at 10-1.
Last race is at 25-1.
Last wish at 25-1.
Number 5, Leonardo is 10-1.
Leonardo 10-1.
Mojito is 3 1/4.
Mojito at 13-4.
Once You Go Black, 6-1.
Number 7, Once You Go Black at 6-1.
Number 8, Prague, it's 15-1.
So Prague is at 15-1.
Number 9, Supernatural, 8-1.
Supernatural at 8-1.
Number 10, Triumphant, 60-1, 6-0.
So Triumphant is at 60-1. 60-1 on Triumphant.
Number 11, King's Ransom, 6.5.
We head to the fillies with King's Ransom at 6.5. 6.5 on King's Ransom.
Number 12, Philosophy, favorite at 14-10.
14-10 on Philosophy. 14-10 on Philosophy. The favorite for the Betway Bangalore Summer Derby is Philosophy at 14-10.
Number 13, Success, it's 4 1/4.
So Success at 4 1/4. Success 4 1/4. I'll run through the bookmakers odds once again for this Betway Bangalore Summer Derby. Arthur at 10-1. Beyond Measure at 40-1. Cyrenius at 10-1. Last Wish 25-1. Leonardo at 10-1. Mojito at 13-4. Once You Go Black 6-1. Number 8, Prague is at 15-1. 9, Supernatural at 8-1. Triumphant at 60-1. King's Ransom at 6.5. Philosophy, the favorite, at 14-10. And Success 4 1/4. That's the bookmakers odds for this Betway Bangalore Summer Derby 2022.
Thank you.